Have you guys ever felt like you had a really good friendship and just because you don't do the same things anymore, because you're not in the same circumstances, it feels like you kind of drift apart, like there's really nothing to talk about. And it's really sad when that happens because it almost feels like you're kind of forcing this relationship to happen when in reality you want it to last. You really want this friendship to last, but it's almost like there's nothing in common anymore. The second I quit playing video games, that kind of made me lose half of my friends. There was no reason to talk to them. There was nothing in common, nothing that we could talk about in common, and it kind of shocked me that the only thing that made us be in each other's lives was the fact that we played video games together. And that was just kind of shocking because I this whole time I thought that we were friends because we had some sort of special connection, or that I just really liked this person's personality, or that they really liked my personality, etc. And that we just had this special bond from just being around each other for so long, which it just turns out it wasn't true because these same people, I don't talk to them anymore. I haven't talked to them in months, almost a year now. And when I have talked to them again, it feels, like I said, very stale, very empty. The whole conversation feels like a forced interaction. So I'll give you another example. I have a friend that it's a natural connection. There's also natural connections. I think this is how you know that a friendship is an actual true friendship, when it transcends where you're at in life, when it transcends your activities, what you do together. But I have this specific friend. We don't exactly do the same things anymore, and we're not exactly on the same path. But when we talk, when we do hang out, it's purely just to talk. It's purely just to connect. And the interaction doesn't feel unnatural. The whole convo is just completely natural, and we can just talk for hours without stopping, without awkwardness. And the thing about these people is that it transcends video games, it transcends what kind of career that we're doing, it transcends substances. We don't have to drink together to connect, we don't have to smoke together to connect. That really shows who is a true friend to you, who is a true person that you can connect with despite dropping substances, despite dropping bad habits. This person is just, they have a personality that actually meshes with yours, and you don't need anything to make your personalities mesh together. They just naturally connect. So I knew this guy who was a really good guy, but this guy drinks a lot. And when we began our friendship, it began very strongly. This was a few years ago. We would always drink together, me and this guy. I noticed that when I quit drinking, that it almost seemed like there was nothing there. The conversation was just weird. And little by little, he just stopped hitting me up, stopped texting me, stopped asking how I was doing, stopped just coming by my house. And I wanted the friendship, but it almost seemed like he kind of pushed himself away, which was kind of strange. And it's fine, it's his life, and I respect him still. I still love him as a person. I just kind of realized that he was really just a drinking buddy. And that's where you have to draw the line. Do you really know if someone's your friend, or are they just a drinking buddy? Do you really know if someone's is your best friend, or are they really just someone you smoke weed with? Do you really know if someone has your back, or are they just a person that you play video games with? And without that video game, without that smoke, without that drink, there's nothing of substance left. There's no interest in this person's life. There's no interest in this person's personality. It was simply just because you guys did the same thing at the same time. And once that thing is gone, there's really nothing left to pick up from there. I think this also goes for circumstance. So have you ever been in a job, a workplace, and you meet someone? When you're at work, it almost feels like this person could be a really good friend. This person is really cool. You have people at your job that you really respect, you really like having a shift with. But outside of work, there's really nothing there. You could almost make a bunch of friends at a certain workplace, and the second you leave that job, they all stop talking to you. This actually happened to me as well. A few years ago, I was actually a waiter slash busser at a restaurant. I worked at a restaurant for a little bit, but it's called PF Chang's. It's a Chinese restaurant all over the US. I probably worked there like 4 or 5 months. This is during the pandemic. At PF Chang's, it almost seemed like I made a lot of friends. I met a lot of people that I thought were really cool, that I could possibly hang out with outside of work. A lot of people my age, we were connecting well, and it almost seemed like some of these people we were destined to become friends, and we would text each other and we would talk all the time and see each other all the time. And we just had that bond as coworkers that was really strong. The second I left that job, everyone there just stopped talking to me. And not kind of like, oh, that they blocked me. I just remember that whatever was left of those like conversations, whatever was left of those connections just kind of shriveled up within like a week or two. And there was a couple of people I would say hi to every couple months or so after leaving that job. But eventually that also turned to dust. Just kind of been the case for almost every single job that I've had. You're gonna find the same thing, that many of these people that you work with, they're really not your friends. These coworkers aren't true friends, and they don't really turn into anything more than just coworkers that you enjoy being around. School is kind of a different thing. I would say I still do have really good friends that I met in school. Most people in school, I really don't give a shit what they're doing. They don't give a shit what I'm doing. I think it's kind of strange now. It almost feels awkward. So when I'm at the store and I see someone that I went to school with, there's almost this split second where you think, okay, should I say hi to them or should I ignore them? Some of these people you may have even been a little close with. Maybe they weren't your best friend, but they were an acquaintance, someone that you knew for goddamn, half your life, almost, or most of your life. Some of the people you went to school with have been there since the beginning, especially if you stayed in the same school. You may have known these people for 15, even almost 20 years, It's kind of weird when, there's someone that you grew up with that you spent 10 to 15 years seeing them all the time, seeing them every year, talking to them, knowing this person, knowing of this person, seeing that person's face. And then all of a sudden, you've graduated. It's been a long time since you've been in school. You see that person at the Walmart or something, and then you're like, oh, should I just say hi to them, or should I just, I haven't talked to them in 5-6 years, or should I just ignore them and just walk past them? And it does feel kind of strange, and I've actually done both. There's some people that I've actually, it's weird, this is going to sound messed up, but there's been people that try to get my attention, like, oh, hey, like, I can see them kind of like trying to come up to me, or, say hi. I see them, like, we make eye contact. And what I'll end up doing is sometimes I'll just walk past them and I won't even say anything. I'll just ignore them. I'll act like they don't exist. And it feels a little cold. It feels a bit cold, of course. It feels a little fucked up, kind of like you're being At the same time, I'm having the thought that I haven't spoken to you in 6 years. I really don't care what's going on in your life. I really don't care what you're up to. I don't want to ask you how's work. I don't want to ask you, oh, do you have a girlfriend? Are you married? There's nothing for me to take from that conversation. I have no reason to ask you how you've been. I'm not going to take anything from that situation. And that's really my thoughts on it. And that's why I'd rather just not talk to a lot of people that I knew in the past when I go to the store, is because I just really don't care what's going on in their life, because I haven't spoken to them in so long and I don't plan on it. Like, oh, are we just going to bump into each other and we're going to become best friends out of nowhere, right? I'm just being honest from the bottom of my heart. I know it's common courtesy to say hi. I know that's the polite thing to do. But truly, honestly, deep down inside, do you really feel like you're actually gaining anything from that conversation? Just asking them how they've been. How's life? How's it going? Oh, wow. What kind of work are you doing nowadays? I swear it's always the same conversation with the same dialogue. There's no point in the conversation. There's no reason for it. It's not giving you any new insight. You're not really learning anything. Nowadays, I've just opted more towards just ignoring these people because it's just like I feel like I'm just lying to their face, just acting like I actually care about how their life's going when in reality I just really don't care. That sounds fucked up, that may sound cold, that may sound selfish, but I'm just trying to be honest. And to be fair, most people really don't care about you. Most people are just worried about themselves, their immediate circle, and their family. So it's okay to be honest with how you feel about strangers. A stranger is a stranger, and honestly, I have a little bit too much happening in my life right now, and I don't need any extra stress, extra worry, or trying to bring another person on board that I just really don't care for. It does feel a little bit sad when you see them working somewhere, maybe a fast food job. Maybe you've seen this person in a dark situation, and it's almost like that meme, like, oh, just put the fries in the bag, bro. Have you guys seen this meme? It's Thanos, and he's just, when you see an old high school classmate working at McDonald's, and he says, oh, hey, how's it going, bro? And it's funny, Thanos just says, just put the fries in the bag, bro. And that's kind of how it feels. It's almost like, dude, I just don't give a shit. Like, you're just, I'm not looking down on someone working, but look, it's just awkward. It's just awkward. I don't want to have the conversation. I don't really want to reconnect. I'm just trying to do my thing. I'm just trying to buy my stuff, just get throughout my day. So, and I feel like I really don't owe you anything just because we were classmates. Just because we had some sort of bond when we were kids. I really don't feel like, why should we have to owe them something? Why should we have to owe them the courtesy of a conversation when I'm just a free human being? I'm an adult, okay? You're an adult, I'm an adult. I have no obligation to speak to you. You have no obligation to speak to me. And if I really don't give a shit what's going on, then I'm just going to ignore you. And that's that. Now, if it's someone I really do like, someone that was a real G, so I do make an occasional exception, and I will say hi to someone who was like a really, really, person that I respected. Or maybe someone that you genuinely do care about what's going on in their life. Maybe you have each other on social media. Maybe you have mutual friends, for example. That kind of makes it a little bit different. Maybe you see them very often. It's different when you see this person very often. Maybe you're seeing this person every week or two. So it can kind of be hard to ignore someone whenever you see them like once a week, twice a week. I would give an exception for those individuals. But if I haven't seen you in 5 years, it's like, bro, what's the point? Like, I don't fucking, like, we don't need to have this conversation. Speaking of friends, people in general, finding new friends on self-improvement is actually really hard, and it's a lot harder than you may think. You can find plenty of subpar friends. You can find plenty of that are not in the same level as you. If you want to find someone that's on your level, that has the same goals, someone that's sober, you know how rare that is? Someone that's sober, someone that likes exercise, that's actually on self-improvement and sticking to it, that wants to get better. Most people my age that I've been meeting recently they're just mediocre individuals. These are just the same old people with the same old habits. They get off work, they watch TV, they smoke weed, they drink, they party. When you've gotten to a certain level on self-improvement, you kind of just start filtering those people out because you just kind of know that there's just nothing really that you can get from that relationship. I'm gonna go and say something a bit selfish, but a lot of friendships are just for benefit. You're friends with someone because you get something out of it. Either you get a connection, you get someone that assists you, someone that gives you attention, you give them attention. Maybe you work together and you help each other out at work. Maybe this is someone that you're trying to learn. And these people that are just still drinking and, still playing games and don't really have their stuff together, I really have nothing to take from them. But at the same time, they have everything to take from me. And I'm not really trying to give away my energy. When you start a new friendship, you have to remember that for the friendship to survive, you have to put time into the friendship. You have to text this person. You have to talk to this person. You have to hang out with this person. I guess what I'm trying to say is a natural friendship. The only friendships that I've been entertaining recently are natural friendships. So a natural friendship is a non-forced connection. This is a friendship that you don't have to put much effort into. It just automatically happens. Maybe this is someone that is in your life that you hang out with on a regular basis. You don't feel any friction having to hang out with this person. You just automatically are magnetized towards each other. This is someone who doesn't drain you during like a conversation. A person that you actually enjoy talking to and hanging out with, and you don't feel like you're obligated to be around this person. You're in the situation because you enjoy it. Not out of obligation, not out of loyalty. And loyalty is good, but I'm saying like you're not just continuing like a friendship that you really don't feel like continuing just because you're trying to be a good guy. This is a relationship that should happen just without having to force it. So these are really the only friendships that I've been like actually welcoming into my life recently. I really think that for someone to be part of my life, that it shouldn't feel like a hassle. I shouldn't feel mentally drained around this person. I shouldn't feel like I have to save them from themselves or from their depression or from their bad habits. And it's okay if we're not both on self-improvement, but like I said, I shouldn't feel like I have to save this person. I feel like I shouldn't have to tell this person what to do. The only thing I'm getting out of it is like the connection itself, and it just comes naturally, and I'm not trying to make this person hang out with me. I'm not trying to make them feel a certain way about me. We just have a mutual respect for each other, and we actually enjoy spending time together mutually. And this person ideally should hit you up. You should hit them up. You shouldn't feel forced to message them just to check in on them. And yeah, it should just not be a forced thing. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on this? It's been very lonely recently, and I think that it's because I've just been growing a lot. And when you grow, you just kind of feel like you outgrow a lot of other people, and a lot of people will still like you, and a lot of people will still treat you good, but you just feel like there's really like nothing there left behind after you've grown. You just feel like a different person. And when you were friends with this person, you were different, and now that you've changed to someone else, it feels like that there's just no point in even talking to them or spending time with them. So leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know if you've, felt something similar recently. Feel like it's been really hard to connect with people naturally. Feel like you've had a friendship that's been weighing you down mentally. That's definitely something that, if it's weighing you down, like mentally, causing you to feel tired, maybe even dreading hanging out with this person, I don't think that there's anything really left there for you, and you just got to move on and accept that you have to let them back to the universe and let them go free. Anyways, like, subscribe. This is Dark Warrior. Leave a comment. Let me know if you have a question, and I'll answer it. Peace out, guys. I hope I can connect with y'all, and maybe we can make some friendships together. Peace.